Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and today's going to be a different type of video. I'm going to go over how to create a portfolio site using Wix. Now, I do not get any type of fundings or backings from them. I just like Wix a lot because I think their website services is really easy and it's free for the ones who can't afford it. But if you do want to pay for a domain name, then you definitely can do that. So, anyway. Moving on, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a portfolio site. We are going to be creating 3 pages, which really is all you need, which is basically your portfolio, your resume, and a way to contact you. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we are in Wix.com, and you want to sign in. You can sign in multiple ways, Gmail, Facebook, whatever you like. I usually use Gmail, so give me a second while I sign in. All right, as you can see, I already have my site here. I have my Academic Phoenix Plus, the one I'm kind of working on right now, which is just as a preview. Here's one that I was just messing around. And let's go ahead and create a new site. So Wix is going to ask you, what are you, a designer? Are you a photographer? Things like that. Usually I just go to other. And then it's going to ask me, do you want to make my own site or do you want somebody to help you or ADI to help you? And I'm just like, I actually just going to go through all the templates and see which one I like, and then I'll go from there. So I think this is the part that's going to take you the longest, is trying to figure out which one do you want. There's so many fancy websites that they have a template for, and it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to figure out which one you want to use. Now, I personally like simple. So for example, let's view this one. And what I'm really looking, you can see that he's got projects, about, contacts, some sort of crazy website. And then, you've got, okay, close that. And just looking at it, you can kind of see what type of work he has. It's got an about. So it's a pretty modern piece. I think it's a little too complicated. I usually go for a lot simpler, but again, just kind of go through and see which ones you like. So this one's nice. It's got a nice render, or photo in this case. It's got the social media at the bottom. You've got your portfolio, which you can see that this would be an interesting way of separating things. You've got about, you got blogs, blah, 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 blah. So a bunch of stuff. Remember, we can always go back and change things. So we're not stuck with this. So if you want to, you can look at the most popular. So really what I'm looking for is just a really simple site, something like maybe, I don't know, like I said, usually it takes a second to find which one's the best one. I just want something simple. Here's a nice picture. You get some projects. Here's about, services. So it's kind of fun because there's a lot of really cool stuff. This one's also nice. You have your name over here. You've got your projects over here. And then if you want to, you can scroll down, or we can just you can see that this is all in one page. So it just kind of scrolls down if that's something you want to do. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it makes me kind of dizzy. But again, those are some options. So there's a bunch of pages to take a look at. There's some that just have portfolios, which is great. So I usually take a look at portfolios, and sometimes you'll just find a really classic portfolio where it's just got, again, your name, some information about you. You can click here. Maybe I'll drag it all the way down. There's your contact, things like that. So you just want to remember, recruiters are looking at this stuff all day. Just make it simple for them. Here's an Illustrator. Let's take a look at this one. Home, about, contact. Perfect. And a couple of renders right here on the front. All right, that looks good. We can go to about. There you go. We can go to contact. There we go. Perfect. So let's use this one. So we're going to click on edit site. And now we're in the editor. So this is the menus. We have background, we can add some things, but in general, this is what we want to use. Up here at the top, we have home, about, and contact. So these are the quick ways for us to be able to get to the different pages. And I can just start editing. So for example, I'm going to type in here, let's say, I don't know, Academic Phoenix. And since maybe if I spelled things correctly with a little plus. And as an illustrator, I might want to change here as a 3D artist. Or actually, this will be my portfolio. If I probably would recommend that maybe you move this down so everything's flexible. And I also recommend that you type in what you are. So if you're a 3D artist, I would recommend that you write that. If you are an animator, a concept artist, anything like that. So go ahead and align. And these things are built by bars, so you can actually bring these in and out. So if something looks a little small, and I personally like to just kind of lift these things up. There you go. And up. So we have about, we have home, and then we can start changing images. So for example, I can use, they're using what's called Wix Pro Gallery. So if I want to, I can manage my media. And these are the images that I have available that you know they provide for me. But I'm actually want to add my own images. So we can go ahead and click on Add Media. And you can add whichever. Do you want to add a video? I can, because I have a bunch of videos. So, or you can upload your own video. I'm just going to use YouTube since I have videos. But I also can add images. So we'll start with an image, and then we'll go from there. Right now I don't have anything. So let's say I want to add an image. I'm going to browse. I can drag it in there if I want to, which I guess I can just do it now. Let's say that I want to drag, let's just drag this one in here. And you can see that it's thinking. And then you can click on Add to Page, or you can upload more. So for example, maybe I want to add, let's add these guys for fun. Just add a bunch, and then they're going to do their thing. Cool. Now I can select all of these and then add to page. So now I have a collection of pictures that I just uploaded. So if I click done and I start scrolling down, you're going to notice that they pop up at the end. All right, so let's go ahead and manage that media again. And let's go ahead and get rid of these because they're not mine. So just delete them. I appreciate Wix doing this, but that's a lot of images I got to delete. And it feels like I'm wasting my time. But, you know, I also understand what they're trying to go for. Now you can see that there's a value on everything. So just make sure that you can move things around so it's not stuck in stone. So let's see, 2, 4, there we go. Something like that. Let's move this. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we've got this one. So now I can click done, and there we go. Now up here at the top, there is a preview. So we can go ahead and preview it to see what it looks like. So you can see it automatically has this interesting animation. When I click on it, it's going to open a separate page. Now, this is a really bad idea to have it like this. So just keep that in mind that you will have to go back and edit it. But just to show you that people can in fact zoom in. It also has a preview of a mobile device. So if you click on this little icon up here, it will show you what it looks like as a mobile device. And then I can go back to the editor. Now what's fun with the mobile device is that I can actually manipulate things so that it looks according to what I want. So for example, do I want this to look like that? Maybe I want this to be higher. Maybe I want something else to be different. So you can actually change it. So don't forget to alter it so that you can see what the mobile device looks like. But I usually do this last. Let's go back to the monitor. And to edit it, we just have to go back to our managed media gallery. And over here, I can just say, model a posh chair in Maya. And then I can explain it, what it is. In this video tutorial, we go over how to model a, how to model a modern and posh chair using Maya. Now, the next question is, here's a link. Now, what's nice about this is that I can actually say, oh, I want it to go to a separate page, which could open up more details, or I can go to a particular web address, which would be my YouTube video probably, or my website, or whatever you want, documents, emails, so on and so forth. So I'm going to leave it like this. And so since I'm here, I might as well grab a link for this. Oh, great. There we go, guys. An ad for Wix. Very funny. All right, let's share. Let's copy this. Skip. We're already doing it. All right, going back. I thought that was kind of funny. Grab this. Put your link in here. Whoops. Web address. Paste it in here. Done. Done. Preview. This is what it looks like. Click on this and you can go to the website. There you go. So that's a nice way of kind of getting, if you have like more details or turntables or anything like that, you can do it. Let's go back to back editor and let's add, since we're here, we might as well manage our media. And this time what we're going to be doing is adding a media, and we're going to be adding a video. So it's going to ask us what video it is. I'm just going to do this one, update the gallery. And now it's got a video. Let's see what that looks. So I can click on this. It doesn't have a title. So I can say video of, I'll just say episode 1. And we'll see what that looks like. Let's preview. This is going to be all the way at the bottom. There's my video. I can click on it. And then people can watch it right away. So it's pretty handy. Oops, I just closed it. That was an accident. All right, so what happens when that happens? Well, I just have to go back to my sites. Let me reload this. And you'll notice that this is my site that's not published. So we're going to select and edit. And then we're going to go in and edit the site. And there we go. It's back. Cool. Now, if you won't like this gallery over here at the, we have add, and it does have multiple galleries. So if you're interested in different types of galleries, I'd recommend that you kind of explore them. As you can see, there's a little preview where they hover. You can click on it and the image gets bigger here, or if you want them different shapes and sizes. So there's a bunch of different types of galleries. I like just regular squares, you know, like just simple. But, you know, if you want grids, you can have grids. There's sliders and there's more galleries. So if you want to explore those, I highly recommend it. They're fun. Again, I'm very conservative, I would say, with this stuff, because I really feel like recruiters are seeing a lot of stuff and they would just want to make sure that they can find their stuff really, really easily. All right. So, so I'm sorry. I selected this. I double click on it. And you'll notice that there's a couple of options you have here. I decided to bold it. So you can bold it, unbold it, italicizes, all sorts of things. So I was just kind of having a little bit of fun. So I don't want this one bolded. I just wanted to make sure that Academic Phoenix stuck out the most, and then 3D Artist. Try to pick fonts that are easy to read. You want to make sure that people can, know where you're at. Let's say home. I don't want to call it home. I'm going to manage pages up here at the top left. And over here, there's these little dots. And I'm going to rename this. And this one I'm going to call portfolio. There you go. If you want to, there's more settings, and you can see if this is your home page, which it is. You can take a look at advanced settings. You have layout, if this is okay. You have permissions. You can actually password protect one of the pages if you want to. I don't recommend this one, but some people work in the industry and they can't show off their work because it's not published yet, but they're maybe looking for a job. You can use password holders. If you want to run a business, they do have members only. And SEOs, it talks about what do you want this to look like. So for example, this here is where you want to change it. This would be 3D Artist. You see how it's changing at the top? And I just want to make sure it says Academic Phoenix Plus. Will it do it? I'll just do plus. Portfolio. So if someone's looking for you, they'll be able to find you really easily. So this is important because this will change you see how it says up here, Wix website editor, my site. You want to do that. You want to make sure that you change that. Otherwise it just says home Wix or something, and that looks really strange. So let's see what that looks like when we preview it. Notice that it doesn't show up. That's because we haven't actually published it. If I click publish, it will actually, in fact, put it on the website. So if I go to this site right here, it is now live. So keep that in mind, that if you're going to publish something, I can actually give this to somebody in whoever, just send a link and they will have access to this. I'm going to delete this when I'm done, but I just wanted to demonstrate that this is what you would copy and paste. Now, what I wanted to show you is a tab up here at the top. You see how it says Academic Phoenix Plus 3D Artist? Notice that it gets cut off. You might want to consider revisiting that because it's, it kind of disappears. So maybe what I can do is manage my site, go to my portfolio, go to my settings, go to my, where would it go? Over here into my SEOs, and maybe instead of, I can maybe get rid of plus I can maybe bring these together. We'll see. Anyway, let's go to the about page. So again, this says about my site. That doesn't make any sense to me. So what I can do is about, and then I can say Academic Phoenix Plus. Oh boy, learn how to spell. Okay. So in about, I would probably spend the time to put an image of you, so I can change my image. Let me find my image. And again, I can go in and upload media. I can go over here. I already found it, so I have a bunch of options here that I have, so I can maybe put this one. It's uploading. It's huge, 1.5 megabytes, so I should probably go back and change it in Photoshop. I'll do that later, but keep an eye on, it doesn't need to be that big. So there I am. I can change this text pretty easily. And this is an area where you probably want to add your resume. So what I would do is, let's fix this now. So this is going to be 2020. Can get rid of all of this. And then I can say Academic Phoenix Plus. And it says 2023, 2020. Cool. So let's click on this and bring this down. And you're not limited to the way the template is. If you feel like it might be better for space to just kind of move things around, like for example, I can actually just take up more space by doing this. I think I will. So that way people can just quickly see my picture and then the about me. When you're describing yourself, I would definitely recommend your passion for the 3D, for the arts or whatever you're doing, but also mention some other things about you. So this would be like my passions in 3D or whatever you're using. And then, but you also have to explain your things that make you interesting. Because everybody knows, since you're making a portfolio site, you're working on this for years in your art, you definitely want to explain. Everybody knows that it's kind of obvious that you like this stuff, but you also want to explain what else makes you interesting. So I would mention hobbies, if you like, and accomplishments. So for example, if you won some sort of awards, that you like to climb, you like to hike in your free time, things like that, I would add that as well. So things that make you interesting beyond the fact that you love 3D. The next part is your resume and other information. The reason why I'm pushing this down is because I'm going to be adding an image. There's two ways people have done this. You either add an image of your resume, and then you have a button so people can download it. Lucky for you, Word has a ton of resume templates. But if you're really curious what a resume looks like, usually you can just look up resume templates or something in Google and you'll find like a million of them. You can also look up industry professionals and see what they did in your resume. But in in Microsoft, and I think even Google Docs has templates. What you want to do is look for a template and you can type in resume, search. And it's going to give you a bunch of resumes and you just have to figure out which one's the one that you like the most. I would not put your picture in. That's in your about page, unless maybe your logo could go in there if you have one. But we can choose, let's choose, that's usually pretty conservative when it comes to my resume building. I go for the more traditional look, just the way I am. It's up to you which one you want to do. So your name, objective, so on and so forth. So I'm not really going to edit this. It's important that you do add your name. I don't recommend, you can write I would recommend that you just write your city and state. I would not put in your, where you live, because that's weird. And there's a lot of weirdos out there. So just put the state that you live in. I also would recommend that you put in your website.com. So kind of keep it consistent. Email. Sorry, I'm so anal at this stuff. Usually I recommend website, email, then your telephone. Sometimes people don't even put their telephone. You just create your fake telephone with Google, like Google Voice will give you a fake telephone. And then objective is a description of what you're trying to do. So obviously you're trying to get a job in the industry, all that stuff. If you're running out of space, I'd probably get rid of this. In the industry, skills is important, experience and education is last. All this stuff is kind of fluff, so I would delete those. But you definitely want to explain where you worked. Are you still working there? What you did, you know, any type of exercise. I would also separate this in the industry because I know that some people have worked, let's say, if you're just starting this, you want to write what's called relevant experience. Relevant experience is basically projects that are relevant to what job you're trying to pursue. So if you're interested in 3D, you would talk about the 3D projects that you're involved in. We've all had work experience. So for example, I actually worked a long time ago in, it is now gone, but it was called Toys R Us. And guess what my title was? Jeffrey the Giraffe. I did it for a couple days. I was actually a cashier, but I was Jeffrey the Giraffe for like a second. Anyway, that's a long story. But yep. So you want to write experience so they know that you've actually worked in the past. If you don't have any experience, then volunteer would also work. If you have too much of a white space, I'd also add your volunteer. Usually you want to add your volunteer at the bottom. So let's get rid of this. There we go. And then we can do volunteer. Education is usually at the bottom because the industry is looking for skills and your relevant experience. Education is important. They just want to know if you know the software. Skills and abilities, usually you want to kind of say software. You know, things like Maya, Arnold, Substance, Painter, Designer, blah, 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 blah. Adobe products. Anyway, just kind of list what you want to do. Now notice that I'm starting to run out of space. Things are kind of moving around. Name, don't forget also your title. I'd make this smaller. Maybe 25. So for me would be 3D artist. Oh, didn't stick. Let's see, I would probably change this to a smaller number so that they know they've reached the right person, right? And so on and so forth. There you go. Maybe spell substance right. All right, so why am I doing all this? So you guys will create your own. All right, so I'm going to save this as a PDF, but I'm also going to take an picture of this. All right, so I took a snippet picture of it. Sorry, let me do that again. If you type in snipping tool, you'll get the snipping tool, and you can just kind of grab an image of this. You can save it. Oh no, I spelled this wrong. Yeah, don't have spelling errors. That's a really bad idea. All right, let's try that again. Okay, let's go back to Wix. All right, and the reason why I was showing you this is because I need to add an image. So I can grab an image, go to my uploads, and I can click on this. Upload media. Here's my reference picture, my resume picture. I dragged it in. I'm going to add it. And then I can scoot this down. So if somebody comes into the contact to see about me, they'll also find my resume, and it's a really easy way for them to read it. But I also want to make sure that they can download a PDF version of it. So what I can do is add a button. And I have a bunch of choices. I can just choose button, and a button will show up. So I can say change text, and I can say resume. You can say download resume. That's a button. If you wanted to also, you could also look for, let's see if they have it here. You can look for a PDF icon. Sometimes you can just download a PDF icon and therefore people will know. But we can just make sure that this is at the top. Some are really easy to see. And then we want to assign the resume to it, the PDF. So we can link it, and then it's going to ask, well, what would you like? And I'm interested in opening up a new window. That's important because I don't want it to replace it. I want it to open up a new tab. And I'm going to choose a document, and I'm going to choose a file. And it's going to ask what file you're looking for. I don't have it, so I have to upload the PDF. Here's my PDF resume. It helps that it's got resume picture, so make sure you label everything correctly and add the page. Document, resume, done. Let's preview it. So when someone comes to portfolio, they're going to see my portfolio. If they go to about, they're going to see my image. Do you see how my image slowed down a little bit? That's because it's a 1.5 megabyte file. It doesn't need to be that big. In Photoshop, I should make it smaller. And they'll see my resume, and then I can click on download resume. It'll open up in a separate tab, and there you go. They've got my resume and they can download it. So perfect. Perfecto. All right, let's go back to editor, and I'm going to go to contact. And in contact, it has all these cute little images. I can find my own image. This actually has its own images here as well. So if you Wix provides some for free, so you can look up stuff there too. And you can enter your name, your email, and all that stuff and message. I don't know about telephone, so if I want to, I can go to form settings and I can edit things. I don't know why it's all the way up there. It's kind of strange. It's hard for me to, there we go, that's better. We can see what type of messages it has. I guess it can do payments, which I find interesting. Contacts, easy peasy. Grab this form and just bring it up. That's what I like about Wix. Everything works. And let's see if I can bring this up so it doesn't look so large. So don't forget to put in your email. I do not recommend to put your phone number. Again, I think it's a bad idea. But if you want to, some people put in their LinkedIn, so they can always find you more information there. And yeah, you can just make sure that this is set up so that it goes to your email, which it automatically should. And that is about it. That is how you create a website. If you're interested, you can create your little, I'm going to add my little icon at the top just because I think it's cute. But let's go to my images. Have this little logo right here. Click on that, add to page, and it's huge. It's also a PNG, as you notice, because it's got transparencies. I'm going to place it up here. Now, if I place it up here, the cool thing is that it will automatically place it in the other pages. So if I preview this, you'll notice that it's up here, and then I can go to about, contact, and so on and so forth. This is a little hard to see. I'm a little worried about that because I almost missed it. So I'm going to go here, and you can change some of the things. So let's say I can change the design. So right now, if I click on design, I can kind of play around like, what do you want? Do you want to have, maybe you want the typical, maybe it highlights a word, maybe it discovers something else. I kind of like this one. So it's got a lot of options. So, and then you can customize the design. So you can actually change colors and do all sorts of stuff. This is when you start going down the rabbit hole, but let's preview that. So now I know where I'm located. Here's about. If I hover, it's a little gray, it's a little faded. So I think that really works for me. I think it works a lot better. And that is the basics of how to build a website using Wix. It's great. It's easy to use. It's show your best stuff at the top. Don't forget to alter these things at the bottom. If you have social media, if you do have social media, make sure that it's appropriate social media, professional. Just think professional. So that is the basics on how to create a website. Let me know if you guys have any questions by leaving a comment below. And again, don't forget to take a look at academicphoenixplus.com for more tutorials, free downloads, free ebooks, free trainings, and all sorts of stuff just for you. So take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. I really do hope this is helpful. Again, try to go simple. Simple's better. It's, the recruiters look at hundreds of portfolios, so you just want to make sure that it's really easy. Portfolio, about, contact. They can find your name. They can find your resume. They know how to reach to you. They know that you've reached the right person because it says 3D artist. This is your name. So they know that they're in the right place. And just hit them with your best work. All right, guys, let me know if you guys have any questions and keep creating, and I will see you next time.